So I've just taken another trip to my local e-waste recycler, and I've returned with this Corsair case that I can't say I've ever seen before. It's fairly massive. But the thing that caught my attention was A, there's a water cooler in there, and B, we got DDR4 in there, and C, we have I think it's a GTX 1660 in there. Got no idea if this goes. It does have a fair bit of weight to it. So even if we are dirty, dusty, and dead, something of this is valuable. You could also see, not on this side, we have no SSDs in here, but around the other side, it might have been the back. There are some hard drives in there of unknown volume. So I've got it plugged into a monitor right now. I'm going to hit the power button. Power button. Ooh. We have spin, which means we have power. Do we have a system speaker plugged in? We do not. But nothing on the screen yet. So I'll grab one of these guys. And with my limited visibility, I'm going to try and plug this in. There we go. If it's anything of this generation, I'm going to assume that the motherboard has died, which I can't quite tell. I'm going to assume it's I believe that is whinging of GPU issue. I'm going to put you guys down for a second. I don't know where I'm going to put you guys down for a second, but I'll just see if the camera will hang there for a moment. So I'll flick the power off. Flip this latch over. And the GPU isn't really even in its slot. The latch, I know, there we go. Latch up. There. Disconnect. Hopefully there's not a huntsman, some spider living right here. I don't know what that delicious thing is. Do we have onboard HDMI? We do. Let's try now. Back to power on. Power. What are we? We're a B150M DS3, which I think is Intel's 6th generation, or possibly 7th. No, I wouldn't think it's 7th. Maybe 6/7. No, we're still complaining. Maybe there's no integrated graphics on it. So I'm going to dig a little bit deeper, but I don't know if you guys will be here for the ride, but I will come back and let you know what I find. So far, I'll get some value out of this, even if it's just the cooler, maybe one or two of the RAM sticks, maybe a power supply or an unknown hard drive. But no beeping. The graphics, the processor may not have integrated graphics, and if it doesn't, this is still an unexpected message. So I'll find out some more soon. So far I've tried the different graphics card, known working. I've tried different RAM slots, still beeping the same, so I'm going to assume it's probably RAM. Even when I take out all of it, it's the same beeping. So it's either a faulty board, or I can't quite remember if the memory controller is on the processor itself, which after taking it off, we are an Intel i5-6500, which is about what I was already expecting. So I'm going to take this out, swap it with another processor that I've got kicking around, and see if this may boot up from there. On my shelf I've got an i5-7500. It may need a BIOS update to work on this board, but for the hell of it, I'm just going to quickly slap this on, see what it does. Winner! So that was slightly different. It was 2 faulty sticks of RAM. I've since changed them to 2 just miscellaneous sticks. I have seen this before, of course, Corsair Dominator, with this particular set of RAM where both of them seem to have failed, and in this particular instance, that looks to be the case. So we are starting up right now, off a hard drive, I believe. I want to put that back in to make sure that that's going to work. If it does, I'm going to clean it up, give it some new life, and go from there. Right now, this is running with 16 gig of RAM, a i5 7500, a liquid cooler, and we're running off probably a 500 gig hard drive. I did take this one out. Sadly, we weren't nothing special. We were disconnected 1 terabyte Seagate. So, cool. Master. So now I need to hold down the cooler, plug in the GPU, power button. So now we're connected up to the GTX 1060. Whoop. Make sure this stays on. Come on. There we go. Display. Bingo. So from here, probably going to take it apart, especially being that the mounts are slipping down under the main board, which is slipping in between the case and the motherboard, which is making it very difficult to get. So I want to disassemble all of this, probably put it into a new case, and while I'm there, I'm just going to tidy it up, put new thermal paste, do a BIOS update, give it a blast with compressed air, clean up the back of this, clean the dust off the fans, place the thermal paste on there, and see how we go. So next up, I'll probably lay out all the parts, and you can check that out. And now I've got one completely picked apart case. So this is I'm going to just put back together, throw it out the back, and then I'll get all the gear on here, and we'll see what we have. As I was putting it back together, I just thought, before that, I noticed the logo didn't look right. I think I had it the wrong way all along. This is the back, this is side, side, side. I thought that was the top. Was missing the other side panel over here when I picked it up, but I think that's the orientation this was meant to go. So here's the collection of gear. One GA-B150M D3H motherboard. It does have a i5 6500, but I will be upgrading to an i5 7500. It did have 2 sticks of Dominator RAM, which both were completely dead, so I've since popped in some crucial 8 gig stick, DDR2666, and some Samsung stuff, and they seem to be cooperating just fine. There was a 500 gig hard drive connected, quite old. There was a 1 terabyte hard drive not connected. And in the end, I also found a Kingston HyperX Fury 240 gig SSD. Don't know what the read-write speed that would be like, but I'd say it's getting pretty ancient. Then we had a Master Liquid 240. So that I will reuse, quite dusty. And then the other kicker, a semi-module Corsair CX850M. So hopefully that's all the power that I need. All of which is in pretty dusty condition. So I want to give it a clean, give it a blast, then give it a clean. Start with the motherboard first, give that a blast, give that a clean. Then I want to work my way to the cooler, and then probably the power supply, and then lastly the graphics card, which this one is a Gigabyte GTX, where is it? GTX 1060 ITX model OC 6 gig, which is not looking that great, but the whole thing looks fairly similar in condition, which probably says to me that hopefully it's been just living in a shed and just running for the last 10, 15 years, or 10 years. But I'm going to tidy this up and then probably put that in a fresh case. So now I've got it in a Thermaltake View 170 case with an ARGB controller, because the board does not have any form of ARGB. Did notice there was a ripped off SATA connector over here, but installation has gone just fine. Looks neat, nice and neat. While I was also at the Ewaste, I picked up this Dell, I think it's a 22-inch monitor. Had a different stand kicking around that was able to go straight onto the Dell. It's connected up via DVI, which means I can reuse a DVI cable. And right now I'm just doing a BIOS update from F21 to F24. And then I'm going to do a reinstall of Windows 10 on here, as it does not support Windows 11. Then it's going to be pretty much ready for sale. So the case cost me around, I think, $65 Australian. I used 2 new fans up the top here, which are Thermalright fans. That the colour of them is identical to what's already here. And the ARGB controller. I've probably spent maybe $80 in parts, and I'm planning on putting this up for 300 Australian dollars, computer and monitor. And this is just going to be a Minecraft / Rocket League machine. So overall, very happy. So right now I've just got Windows reinstalling itself, and currently we're pretty much done. So after spending probably maybe about $80 on here, so case 65, 2 fans, and an ARGB controller, which was about $5 off AliExpress. This is looking to a pretty snappy machine. The appearance of it looks very similar to pretty much any new modern computer, except it does have some older gear in there. Ryzen 7, or not Ryzen 7, i5 7500, 16 gig of RAM in dual channel mode, 6 gig GTX 1060, and it'll be sold with this Dell monitor from 2011, I believe it is, with this height adjustable stand for it. So that one was one I just had floating around, and yeah, I'll do an update once this is sold. One thing I've forgotten, Wi-Fi adapter. I'll just simply use a USB 3 Wi-Fi adapter, and that will get it on the internet. Damn, so after all this installation, I've discovered that this will refuse to detect more than 8 gig of RAM. I've got 4 different sticks. I've tried it in all the different slots, one at a time. They all seem to work, no matter what, if I run it in single channel or dual channel. This board refuses to acknowledge more than 8 gig. Granted, I don't have a 16 gig stick to try, but I think I'm going to end up parting this out then. I'll sell the board, 8 gig of RAM processor as one. I'll sell the cooler as another, graphics card as another, and we'll still potentially make probably about $100 out, 100 Australian dollars, maybe 200 if I'm lucky, or probably 200 or 150, because I'm going to sell the graphics card by itself and then sell the board as a combo. So I will try a couple more things, but right now, not looking that promising. So after all our work, it turns out the motherboard's faulty. It refused to detect more than 8 gig of RAM in there, no matter what I did. But it did also turn out that the original Corsair Dominator RAM was fine. So I've tried that in another machine, or I've actually tried them individually. Weirdly enough, it's now detecting them just fine. So I've now got 16 gig of DDR4, but I will still be parting out the board with a single 8 gig, the i5 7500 and the water cooler all attached as one, just as a single combo. And then I've got the GTX 1060 6 gig and the Corsair power supply, which I'm planning on keeping, as it's definitely got enough grunt for most things I want to toss at it. So even still, basically I'm back to scrap value for most of those parts. The case I don't want, it's incomplete, but for something that I got for nothing, I've definitely got a lot of value out of that. Worst case, I can just throw together that board in a cheap case and reinstall it and just send it on its way from there as a very just budget machine. The BIOS was updated to the latest one, which was F25D, I believe. That made no difference with the memory whatsoever, nor did changing slots and memory configurations really change anything at all. It still would not go over 8 gig. Other times it just would not actually post at all. So a very temperamental motherboard, but with some valuable parts scored from it. Anyway, that concludes this one. I'll see you later. Bye.